Welcome aboard everyone, Simon here from the Whales of Wall Street. We have the update here on SAND, S-A-N-D on the exchange. So this is relating to the Sandbox game. Again, one of our top 5 picks that we did back in June. Obviously, big, massive topic this week or the last few weeks about the Metaverse. Big investment coming in left, right and centre across a multitude of gaming and VR projects related to crypto and blockchain. Sandbox is no other. So guys, a few updates here from Sandbox. Of course, we've got massive things around NFTs, specifically with massive artists like one of my favorites, Deadmau5. I've got a funny story about Deadmau5. When I had one of my previous cars, I took one of my colleagues home, and Deadmau5 was playing on the radio, and I said, "Oh, Deadmau5," and he went, "What?" I said, "Deadmau5, mate. It's a dead mouse," and he's like, "What? Oh, that's really sad, mate. Where is it?" And he kept looking around the car for this dead mouse. And I said, "Oh, it doesn't matter anymore." I literally spent the whole journey laughing to the side, so he didn't see me laughing. And he was like literally quite sad about this potential mouse that had been killed in my car and had gone missing. So yeah, I never told him that it was related to Deadmau5 was playing on my stereo, and it was a bit of a joke, but he might find out one day, who knows. But anyway, back to the topic, guys. So massive things in Sandbox. For those that don't know, go and check out our intro video. I'll leave a link at the end of this one. But very much it's kind of like Minecraft. You're still able to buy and sell land. Can you imagine Minecraft going into a crypto blockchain aspect? But Sandbox appears to have taken it, that kind of concept of building in kind of a block attitude, being able to put NFTs in there, create NFTs, create characters, create lands, objects, whatever you want to do. It's taken to another level because it's like play to earn. There's a multitude of different things you can do in the game, different aspects of the world and different lands you can go and visit. Of course, there's some big brands involved now, like from a commercial aspect. You've got the likes of Atari on here, who obviously invested some money in terms of taking some land. Look at this. So this basically relates to different land opportunities. Each little tiny square as well as big ones are available to purchase. Some are owned by the game or the developers already. You see Atari's plotted all over the place here, so you can see there's a lot of money and interest in this kind of project as we move forward, of course. But I think that's absolutely fascinating. There's loads of Halloween stuff going on at the moment, like little games that you can carry on playing. Again, earning tokens of sand that you can use to distribute into the game or enhance your experience further. So like I said, go and check out the intro video of the game. I think it's got massive opportunity in the future, but we've obviously seen gigantic gains in the last few days off the back of the Metaverse conversation, especially Facebook's integration with that. I think Metaverse was a big topic anyway, but for something so mainstream, whether you like them or not, as Facebook, and especially changing their name to Meta, which is very cheeky of them, has taken the awareness level to new heights. And we'll go into that for sure right now into the chart. So go and check out our top 5 gaming projects from way back. There's a few others that we're doing videos on today, and we will do a new top 5 one hopefully later today or tomorrow, just to emphasize really the development since these last few months. I'll put in a load of statistics and stuff that I know personally through my work for the last 5-10 years related to esports partnerships and things like that, and where we feel the gaming aspect is going in terms of monetary value in the market. So let's for now look at the chart for Sand. Smash that like button if you're liking what you're hearing or seeing. Subscribe to the channel if you've not done so already, and if you're new, welcome aboard. So guys, the chart, wow, 230% gains since these last times here around 26th, 27th of October, where we were floating around that sort of 90 to 70 cent mark. And look at that, a new all-time high of just around $2.44. I think it was literally, $2.45 here on the chart. So slightly out on the orange halo line here. I can probably just move that up slightly if it will allow me to. 2.45, not that ambitious, come on. That'll do. 24511. Deal with it. So guys, where have we been since then in the last couple of days? Well, I'm just going to remove this price range element here so we can have good clarity. You notice we've gone with nice clear lines here, some feedback from someone in the comments. At first I was like, how dare you tell me how I want to do my charts? But then I thought, actually, this looks quite nice. Let us know if you agree on that or not. But where are we with Sand right now? So obviously yesterday, phenomenal rise. Today already has seen phenomenal movements as well, and profit taking, almost double profit taking. So I can imagine around here you have the people that missed out on yesterday's opportunity, and you also have people that have perhaps sold, bought, and sold again. And now we've retraced back to here. I always thought Sandbox was undervalued. Same with Decentraland, in my opinion. I mean, Sand, to be fair, has done quite well this year in general. I mean, look at these top points here. 28th of March, around sort of the 90-cent mark. We had previous all-time highs, I think, well around that 120 mark. So to fly up to 245 is not as big as jump. I think we just covered that in a previous video just now on Decentraland, 500% in this same sort of pattern day, but it's still very good. And I think Decentraland is slightly more advanced in not just graphics, but in its gameplay. So I think that's why perhaps more investment's gone into that area. But I think both projects equally moving forward, and especially for the years to come, will see phenomenal gains. Even from these all-time highs that we're seeing now, I still think Decentraland and Sand are massively undervalued compared to the ability and the prospect of what is to come, not just with the metaverse aspect, but I'm talking about VR and gaming in general. And if you think how big Minecraft is, I mean, it's phenomenal revenues from Minecraft over the last 5 or so years. And to have something that's so related to blockchain that you can actually interact and earn from, fully involved in the blockchain tokenomics aspect and NFTs and everything, I believe that this could be bigger than Minecraft. It just needs the awareness application, and we need more events back in the real world, especially around gaming, esports events and all these Comic Cons. If Sandbox gets its marketing right in that aspect, I'll tell you now, it will be bigger than Minecraft, unless Minecraft switches itself into a metaverse application, because it's already got the structure. We'll have to see how that plans out. But for now, Sandbox is very much the alternative in our space right now. So here we've touched down on this 173 mark. We're currently floating around 177, 178 as of recording. Of course, these green aspects of performance indicators that you see on the right-hand side are very much reflecting what we've seen in the last few days. So it's a bit skewed in that aspect. But equally, as I said, Sandbox has had phenomenal growth this year in general anyway, in my opinion. It will continue to do so. Not maybe in these parabolic runs as this, but I do believe in the behind the project. I'm totally behind it. I held Sand earlier this year. I sold it in the top same sort of period of time I did with Decentraland. I haven't bought back in since, but this video is out there for you guys that have still held it. Congratulations to you guys who have seen some phenomenal returns on your investments. I was planning on getting it into the bear market, thinking that we have plenty of years left for development, and I still stand by that. We did the network video earlier, and I do stand by that. The fact we'll probably have some corrections. I think we'll find a new sort of real price for Sand and all these other gaming tokens eventually. But equally, there may just be so much volume in there and so much belief in this that you're going to have a lot more long-term holders because of the belief in the metaverse system. So we're very much in a conversation right now in our minds, and we will be doing a debate video tomorrow about gaming in general and what the metaverse means. Are you happy or sad about it? Like, what do you think about it? I think it's fantastic. I think it's exciting, but equally, of course, there's always downsides to it, and we will cover those in the video. But back to Sand now. I'm looking at potential buying opportunities for myself. Definitely looking around these previous hit points here where we saw the previous all-time high. I do believe, obviously, that was going to be a resistance level initially that we saw a couple of days ago. I mean, look at that. Pretty much bang on, really. If you line up this fib retracement, it's literally touched the point bang on 29th of October around that 120. And clearly the volume was not done there. So we absolutely smashed through it, taking us to these really high levels. So I'm interested in this level here because I think because we shot past it, and I do believe that we would have done this over the next couple of months anyway. But obviously not to this magnitude in such a short space of time. But here we are, guys. This is where we are, and this is what the space does to us. It can do random things and crazy things at any moment in time. It just takes one bit of news and off they go. So I'm interested in a buy opportunity around this area, floating just above the previous all-time high. So I've gone slightly above the 120 in my my Binance exchange, and I've gone slightly lower, just to the top of that $1. It could potentially come a bit lower again, but I'd be very happy with that considering where it's been and where I believe it will go into the future, and reinvesting arguably what I took out back in, what was it, March or April time. And another marker up here, just generally because obviously this one's kind of been missed at the moment. That's not to say we might take this up another level and come back down to that, and we'll look at that again in the future if that does happen. But for me, on this way down, I think this is a good critical area just above that 150 and slightly just below it as well. There could be an argument that you could get something around the middle point, because I don't believe that we'll full on track downwards if we do come down. But I'm interested in those points. That's what I'm doing. I just thought I'd share that with you guys. But generally speaking, this is a phenomenal project, phenomenal game. I've yet to set the game up yet. I'm waiting for a new laptop or gaming laptop. I don't have a PC or anything because I don't have the space, and I'd like to take my laptop around with me for videos and this, that, and the other as we progress the channel. A couple of other observations, guys. So yesterday, hitting a very high point of 84. Not as high as I thought it would go. I thought we would hit dizzier heights than that. But this is very much on the 14-day, by the way, guys. So it's very reflective on the immediate situation over the last couple of weeks. So if you're looking to jump into sand, just be cautious that we are at the top end and there's more chance of it dropping down, not necessarily significantly quickly, but over maybe a small period of time to reflect maybe back down to sort of the 50 mark and maybe lower. The RSI markers, by the way, have moved to the left-hand side. We did have a part of the chart below this, but I thought I'd make it a bit easier to showcase the MACDs and the RSI in one level, as well as the histogram in terms of volume intake or over purchasing and under purchasing. So we're very top heavy right now. We've obviously seen a bit of a correction. That's not to say there's a bit of left room in the tank to potentially take this to another marker. But then, of course, the next sort of based one on the long term fib retracement we have is around 289. So I do think that's possibly achievable. It's not a massive jump to get from that previous all-time high that we've seen earlier today, 243 to 280. But we'll have to see. I think the next 24, 48 hours will be really interesting to see if we get stability here and we maybe push up to this $2 mark and try our luck at that level to push us back up there. But I think that's quite a big ask from $2 to $2.80. But look at that. We've simply been told the complete opposite in the last few days. So let's see how this retracement occurs over the next 2-3 days. Will we see the continuation of confidence in this? I believe there's a lot of FOMO, because when you, like I said in previous videos, when you go on the exchanges and you say like Qcoin or whatever, and at the bottom you see all the big gainers, I generally believe that influences a lot of people to go, oh wow, that's jumping up, I must jump in, without reflecting on what is this actual project and where have we been. It's really important to watch loads of different analysis videos, really conclude the research behind what you're investing in, and more importantly, just have a look at the history. Because you could jump in here not knowing anything about the history. And I've learned that big mistake when I first jumped into crypto. I jumped into crypto with Ethereum back in maybe 2019. I only put like £50 in and it dropped significantly to like 34 or something over like a 2-day period. I got scared. I pulled it out. I was like, oh my God, I'm losing all my money. I don't know what I'm doing. I reflected on that. I waited 2-3 months to really learn stuff, and then I did it back again. I bought Ethereum at something like £75 and sold it for like $2,000 a few months later. It was mental. But it's just that emphasis, guys, a learning curve for me that I'm presenting to you guys to just be wary of where things have been, where they are right now, and what's the conclusion of where we might be going in the next few weeks. So I do believe that we might have some continuous corrections at some point over the next couple of weeks as people get shaken out or they get bored of it. The general usual psychological things that you see on the way up, I expect the same sort of things down. But that is not to say I don't believe in the project, and that's not either to say that we could arguably support at this new level, because it might be the new price point. It might be the new price point that gets support and pushes up to the $2 and test the other regions above as well. But I just don't like this big gap now between this sort of 120 mark and certainly this top mark. We need to find some support mechanism here, because otherwise we'll see absolute volatility, and that's not what I want to see in these kind of projects. I want to see stability, health, and excitement, continuous excitement. So obviously year to date 4,700%, which is understandable, especially the intake the last few days. Of course, all these indicators are kind of skewed a bit, but I do generally believe that we would have got to these levels at some point in the next couple of months. It's just happened a bit quicker. The question now is, are we going to stabilize ourselves to push ourselves up to even more ridiculous heights of all of these gaming projects? Let us know in the comments below if you're holding sand. Are you involved in the game? I really want to know what you think of the game, if you are playing it, if you are using it. Really fascinated to know. And when we get live shows done, eventually I would very much interested to do a gaming one where I'd really like to take on board people's thoughts on that. And we'll do in the gaming aspect video tomorrow, we'll do a takeover on like Twitch and stuff as well, just to see what everyone's up to, how many people are playing the game, and what's the interaction like on that as well. So guys, thanks very much for watching, and we'll wrap that up there, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.